The Houston Texans defense is inevitably going to be under a magnifying glass this season after ranking amongst the worst in the league last season. That's a big reason why head coach D'Amico Ryans was hired. Although in the Texans' Week 2 preseason game against Miami, Houston's third down defense was exposed. The Dolphins converted on 9 of their 15 third down attempts and both of their fourth down plays. Ryan summed up 2 things that need to be improved on third downs: pass rush and coverage on receivers.
When it comes to third down, it always comes to rush and coverage. So the rush has to improve. It has to be better with the rush, and the coverage has to improve, right? When we want to play tight coverage, we have to be tight on our guys. We have to make it challenging, make the offense make a tough throw, tough catch, right, to put them on their heels a bit, and we didn't do that. The coverage wasn't tight enough, the rush wasn't good enough, and if we want to play, great on third down and get off the field, right, we have to be tighter on both ends.
Texans are next facing the Saints. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are in a tough position right now. 2 of its promising rookies suffered season-ending injuries on Saturday against the Seattle Seahawks. With Week 3 of the NFL preseason looming, Dallas has to decide if risking injury is worth finishing out its player evaluation process. Linebacker DeMarvion Overshown and tight end John Stevens Jr. both fell victim to ACL tears. So now the question is if other standouts to the likes of running back Deuce Vaughn and wideout Jalen Tolbert should take the field ahead of the regular season. On Monday in a conference call, head coach Mike McCarthy said the decision on who will play against the Raiders will depend on how the team's 2 competitive padded practices go this week. The Cowboys host Las Vegas on Saturday at AT&T Stadium for their last preseason game. Then it's time for final roster cuts where Dallas's roster will go from 90 to 53. Jimbo Fisher's Texas A&M football program is coming off of an ugly 5-3 2022 season. On Saturday, the Aggies held their second scrimmage, and it's still unknown who will be named the starting quarterback. The battle is between former 5-star sophomore Connor Weigman and veteran southpaw Max Johnson. Both had memorable moments during last year's campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going. We haven't announced anything yet, but very pleased with both guys. Both guys had really good moments on the day, made big plays, made consistent plays, executing third down, made plays in the red zone, made plays in 2 minutes. I mean, and those, like I say, coming out and also coming off the goal line. How comfortable do you feel what you put on their back, when you're backed up and things like that. So, we did those things. I was very pleased. And our 2 young guys are developing very well. Henderson and Marcel, I thought, really did a nice job in how they're developing and what they're doing, too.
That battle emerged last season in response to struggles with previous starter Haynes King. King since transferred and is now the starter at Georgia Tech. That was just announced, I believe, today.
All right. Thank you very much, Mary.
Thank you.
Our KSAT Q&A with Mayor Ron Nirenberg is up next. It is time for the Tuesday KSAT Q&A with Mayor Ron Nirenberg, who joins us via Zoom, as he usually does on this Tuesday evening. Thanks, Mayor, for being here. We understand you got a bit of a power outage at your house. You're not alone. We understand some other folks do as well, probably related to the weather, though we're happy to see the rain. So I appreciate you being here.
No, glad to be with you. I'm on battery power. I thought I'd get home a little bit early, but didn't know what I was walking into. But I'm grateful that as I was passing by, crews were already out there. They're all over town dealing with traffic signal outages and everything else. So this rain is certainly welcome, but there are consequences to the amount of dry brush that's out there that all of a sudden with the winds get knocked around and also knocks down power lines.
Let's kind of stick with that theme of water here. Yesterday, we covered the story of a local school bus that sunk down in a hole created by a water main break in a neighborhood. SAWS told us that there were more than 700 water main breaks in the month of July. They're expecting more than 900 in the month of August. I was really surprised to hear those numbers. Are you having conversations with SAWS about, is this heat related? What's going on with their infrastructure to lead to that many water main breaks?
Sure. Well, and we'll start by just emphasizing the fact that we are a 300-year-old city. And so a lot of those pipes that are underground are very, very old. And so we deal with this anytime there's extreme weather, cold or hot, when there's a lot of dry ground or shifting of soils, there's breakage of those fragile pipes. And so, as you would expect, the number of calls for damaged pipes or main breaks, things like that, have gone up significantly. And as a result of the drought and now rain that potentially could shift those soils again, we expect more. So we've had an increased number of crews. We even actually have contractors out there working on breaks. Of course, they have to prioritize the worst breaks of all, the ones that are causing immediate safety issues. Sometimes that's very hard to predict because, as you saw in the case of that school bus incident, it can go from bad to worse very quickly. But I will remind folks that, we have a lot of very different, diverse soil conditions throughout San Antonio. We've seen over the past, actually last month, we saw a sinkhole develop. And in previous years, one of those caused a fatality when a car was swallowed up by a sinkhole. So there are some infrastructure repairs that obviously have to go up to the list, but they're working through it as quickly as possible. I will say, Myra, this issue of old infrastructure, fragile infrastructure, is not lost to anyone on SAWS. San Antonio was the first city in the country to work through a consent decree related to old infrastructure related to our sewer systems. Now, what we're seeing here is the water delivery side. And when I became mayor in 2017, as a ex officio member of the SAWS board, I implored SAWS leaders to make sure that we're putting more resources into replacing old water delivery infrastructure. I'm glad to say that since that time, we've accelerated the process, but this is a roughly 500, 600 square mile service area, and there's a lot of old infrastructure. And every time we see these weather events, we're going to have challenges.
Mayor, looking to the future, earlier today, you spoke to the North San Antonio Chamber, and one of the issues that you touched on was some need for changes to the city charter that you would like to tackle. For those that didn't catch your speech today, kind of talk about some of the things you're kicking around when it comes to the city charter and changes. Sure.
No, of course, the talk today was a lot about what we've been doing as a result of voters approving various measures to invest in our community, including bringing mass transit to San Antonio, our bond programs that are going to improve infrastructure, preparing our workforce of tomorrow with education. But another area of need that voters have consistently supported over the years has been incremental change to our city charter, which is now 72 years old. We are a modern city, and so those things need to be adjusted from time to time. And what I suggested today was that we need to really have community discussion on a more comprehensive approach to charter updates. And so there's a lot of things that people in our community have discussed for quite some time now. The number of council districts, potential council terms. I've brought up the need for things like an independent ethics officer oversight that doesn't report to the city or to the city council. Another one of those areas that's important, I believe, is the term limit that was established for our city manager and the salary cap, which really impairs our ability to seek top talent for what is the top executive position of the city. So, of course, we're not going to dictate what those changes are, but what I am going to do is form a committee to begin those community discussions to see what eventually the public would want to vote on to update our 72-year-old city charter. This is the Constitution for our city. It was and it has been continually voted on, supported by the public. And from time to time, we need to look at that to make updates in our modern world.
You mentioned mass transit. You talked about that in your address to the chamber and local business leaders today. San Antonio has been down this road before. We've talked about light rail. We've had the debate over it, the push for it, the pull against it. So what do you see as the future of mass transit in San Antonio?
Well, I see us implementing the voters' direction, which they approved in 2020. When they shifted a portion of existing sales tax over to VIA starting in 2026 to establish what will be our first mass transit system in San Antonio. It's not light rail, because light rail, frankly, for a city our size and this level of density is very expensive to have the kind of impact we want to see. But it's mass transit in the sense that we're going to be putting vehicles that feel like mass transit, that get from point A to point B much quicker, more frequently, more reliably. And we're going to be putting the main lines between north-south San Antonio, or from north-south to San Antonio, and east-west to San Antonio. The good news is the funding is already there. It's approved. We actually have Federal Transit Administration dollars supporting the project, a 60-40 split in the case of the first line, the north-south line. So this is really our charge now, is to implement the community's vision. And there'll be a lot of discussion, obviously, about particular routes and things like that, and that will move forward. But mass transit is coming to San Antonio finally.
Mayor Ron Nirenberg, thanks for your time here this evening. I was hoping the lights would just pop back on live TV here, but I hope they come back on for you soon.
I'm not opening the fridge until then, but thank you very much.
We'll be right back. Rain and no triple digits, both wonderful to see today, but they're on the way out, Adam.
Yeah, but it was a win-win in that regard.
Oh,
right?
yeah, big win.
We had 23 days in a row of triple digits. That came to an end today because of the clouds and the rain. And actually, our rain will slowly be fading away over the next few hours across south central Texas. This is the latest what we have around San Antonio, just some spritzes and sprinkles. One fast-moving downpour up from Leon Springs near Fair Oaks Ranch, moving into Bernie as well. Lightning with this downpour moving through Bergheim. Comfort, it's only minutes away, probably 15 minutes away from Comfort. You'll get hit by this quick downpour. You go off to the west, that's where we've had more persistent rain throughout the day. It's been better activity, but this will as well be gradually dissipating just over the next couple of hours. Will be coming to an end. I'll be back with the drought monitor, put the radar on top of it, show you where we got the much needed rain and of course where we need it the most, along with the high temperatures today. Very interesting across the state with Harold. We'll see you in a bit.
Rain, rain, please stay a little while longer.
I know, right? Don't go away. Don't go away. Stay with us. It was nice to see some downpours, a little disruptive in terms of maybe picking up the kids or dropping them off this afternoon and early evening, but it's really starting to wind down. Most of the rain is closer to the Rio Grande, not to the west. Locally, our rain chances really drop off 30% 7 o'clock. 20% 8 o'clock, by 9 o'clock down to 10%. And we were showing you this earlier. Most of the shower activity and the good persistent and the heavy soaking rain is particularly closer to the Rio Grande. We're talking Maverick County, Kinney County, and even stretching into parts of Valverde County. But even portions of the hill country cashing in on this. It's not really adding up so much, and this isn't going to be a big drought denter, but of course it's better than nothing. This is what we needed, at least some activity. And sometimes it takes a tropical system to bring you the needed rainfall. One shower just popped up near Luling. And I want to point this out because even though the main rain is starting to fade away, these little pop-up downpours, I think, are possible through the rest of the night. And we could see just a few of those coming and going here and there. Really quick look at Doppler radar estimated rainfall totals here around San Antonio and surrounding communities. And where you have the bright green, that's where we have a ½ an inch estimated by the radar. Notice north of Highway 90 in Bexar County, that's where we have a ½ inch to an inch. South of Highway 90, unfortunately, just not your day. Under a ½ an inch and lesser amounts. But the highest accumulations were really farther south of town, down near Pearsall. And even parts of Atascosa County, the yellow indicating 2 inches estimated by the Doppler radar. So some decent accumulations. It was nice to see some much needed rain. Now here's the latest drought monitor. We're all familiar with this and the dark red, which we don't like to see on there, but let's put the rainfall on top of it. This will have a big impact on the drought situation down in Webb County, that's for sure. Dimmitt, LaSalle counties, this will have an impact. It'll dent the drought, I think, farther south. But locally, these heavy downpours were just moving too quickly to really add up to a whole lot of rainfall. They were moving around 40, 45 miles per hour, which doesn't give them much time to actually rain. over your neighborhood. 0.65 at the airport, 91 the high temperature. We haven't said that in a long time. But off to the north, look, Austin made it to 100 degrees. Dallas 103, along with Abilene. Wichita Falls 107. The heat is still out there. We just had the clouds and we had the rain. So New Braunfels 95 today. Del Rio 44 100-degree days in a row. Broke that streak today with a high of 93 and in the upper 80s in Pleasanton and Carrizo Springs. Currently 70s where we've had the more persistent rain off to the west. Uvalde 73, Carrizo Springs 72, 78 right now here in San Antonio. But you go up to Junction and it's in the 90s. Canyon Lake 81 and Divine right now 73 degrees. As we go through the evening, temperatures locally just holding steady for the most part. Will be upper 70s. Stray 10% chance by 9-10 o'clock of one of those isolated downpours. And tomorrow afternoon, we could see a few brief isolated random pop-up showers. Only a 10% chance though. 77 in the morning, 98 for the high temperature. Yeah, we think we'll actually string together 2 sub 100-degree days. Something we haven't done in a while. Tomorrow, Cotulla 92, Canyon Lake 99, but some triple digits, especially Seguin just briefly hitting 100 along with Lavernia. Check out Friday through the weekend and into next week. Daily 20% chances. I know that's not significant, but just some isolated random afternoon pop-up showers possible then.
Yeah, hey, it's something. Thanks, Adam.
Back to the oven.
We'll be right back.
Seguin ISD officials say a handgun a student had went off inside a school bus this morning. There were 37 students on board from 3 different elementary schools. District officials say the student did not threaten anyone with a handgun. No one was hurt. No word on if anyone is facing charges.
San Antonio police are searching for someone who robbed a Northside Whataburger. This happened on the Whataburger at West Avenue near I-10. Police say he held an employee outside taking out the trash at gunpoint, then went inside and stole money from the safe. SAPD says he was wearing a ski mask and a hoodie.
The 17-year-old who was shot in a drive-by has died. The medical examiner says Julian Jr. Robledo died 2 days after being shot outside of his home on Moss Circle Drive last Wednesday. SAPD says someone in a silver sedan shot Robledo. No arrests have been made.
San Antonio police looking into a crash where the driver was thrown from his vehicle. This happened on Roosevelt Avenue near 99th Street. Officers say the man driving swerved that vehicle, causing it to roll over, and then he was thrown from the car. He was taken to a nearby hospital. Police say he may have been having some sort of medical episode. That's your 60-second recap.
Well, this is a beautiful sight, and I love our KSAT viewers uploading their photos, celebrating the rain. And yes, we do need more days like this. The thumbs up, that's my favorite. That's my girl. Thumbs up, enjoy it.
Big thumbs up from all of us. Thanks for watching.